What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Let's do a couple of new tool implementations, health and fruit weapons in this video. Hopefully we can get to both, but depending on the complexity, it could just be one or the other. But of course, we're going to start with the health. So cool. Let's get started on the health system. Ooh, it took a while, but let's see what's going on. We'll implement the first health pass with 3 health icons, 1 damage, enemy spike hits, temporary invulnerability, flashing, and instant death pits. We'll add some knockback afterwards because your fixed update currently overrides horizontal velocity. Anyway, okay. I don't care about all that. Let's see. It wants me to open up UIManager, so let's go to our prefabs folder. UIManager. All right. Too zoomed in. Create an empty UI object named HealthPanel, anchor it near the upper left. Add a horizontal layout group, 3 image children, and assign a heart sprite. Cool. So let's go ahead and do that. Create an empty UI object named HealthPanel. So create empty. UI, is there empty? Panel? Should I do panel or empty? Create empty UI object named health panel. So I don't know if it wants me to just do this panel or do empty. Guess we can ask. I guess I'm assuming empty, but do you want me to click on panel or create empty? Alrighty. So it wants me to do the panel. Okay, UI canvas, panel, and rename this to health panel. Anchor it near the upper left beneath the level text. Okay, where did it go? Where is it? If I could go to the scene view, maybe that makes more sense. UIManager and health panel. I guess it's the same size. So anchor it near the upper left beneath the level text. Level text, okay. Level text is too big anyway, so we might as well wanna fix that later, but definitely should resize this to something much smaller. 400 maybe to height of 200, maybe even 150. Anchor to the top left, and let's add some position X. I'll do 50 maybe, or even like 70. Position Y, -2, -150. Looks about right to me, you know. Level text, might as well just copy the width and height from there. So width is 350, height is 100, and even do the positioning 80 and -20. So let's do 80 and height, position Y, I'll leave at 150. Add a horizontal layout group. Horizontal layout group, I don't know what that means. Horizontal layout group. What does that mean? What do you mean? There's a select add component. Okay, I got it. Gotcha. Okay. By the way, I think it might think that I know what I'm doing in Unity, so I think I should clarify that, hey, I've only been doing Unity for like a month. Horizontal layout group. Right, so add component horizontal layout group. It's done. All right. Suggested settings. Spacing should be 10. Child alignment should be middle left. Control child size, width and height unchecked. Unchecked, yes. Use child scale is unchecked. And child force expand, width and height unchecked there as well. All right, now let's follow the rest of the steps. Add 3 image children, so let's do, where is the image? And just duplicate this a couple of times. And name these, health icon 1, 2, and 3. Assign a heart sprite. Let's see, hopefully we have some heart sprites. Items, checkpoints, and fruits. We may have to go through our assets. Okay, so it looks like the package we're using from the Unity asset store doesn't have a art, so I got something over here in opengameart.org. This is where we also downloaded our music files or audio files. So I'll just download it from here. And I have it imported. So yeah, it seems like I get 16 times 16 by 16, 32 by 32, 48, 64, and 254, which I'm not going to need. And then a bunch of other files that we don't need, so I'll just delete it. And sprite mode, multiple. We really want multiple here. Pixels per unit, let's just go with the 64 by 64. I'll do 64 pixels per unit. Same stuff we used to do in the previous videos on the Gemini series. Let's see, apply this change, bilinear, or point. I kind of forgot what we want to do. Bilinear, or point, or anyway, these are like not things suggested by Gemini, but format, automatic, resize, compression, none. I think we did like no compression. I mean, even 32, I mean, 64 might be too much. So let's just go with a 32 by 32, honestly. Pixel per unit 32. And compression, I think, is none. And that should be all we need to do here. Just apply Open Sprite Editor and just slice it up. But I don't even know if we need to do any of this. I'm just doing what we used to do in the Gemini series, but I don't know how necessary any of this is. But you know, just doing things the way we used to do. Anyway, let's see what else we need to do from here. Assign a heart sprite if you don't have it. Use one of the existing fruit sprites temporarily. Okay. So by that, do you just mean source image? I can just drag and drop it, I hope. So this was the 32 by 32. Source image, drag and drop. Cool. Yeah, looks good to me. Kind of big, so I'll do some resizing there. Way too big. All right, so these I think I'll do. How do I want to do this? Could I just make this one smaller, maybe 200 and 50? No, that actually does nothing. I have to just change things here. 100 by 100, I'll do small, 60 by 60. Looks good to me, honestly. 250, not even. 220. Height should be 80. Cool. Looks much better. Anyway, assign a heart sprite. All done there. And then go to UI managers in our script. And we're gonna follow the instructions to update our code. Header. All right, pasted those two lines. Add this method, update health UI. It's health UI. I don't see it. So yeah, let me add it here. All right, so what's going on? Let's quickly go through it. If health icons equal null, return. Otherwise, go through this loop. Health icon at the index is not equal null. Then set it to active. Health icon dot set active. Okay, I think it'll make sense once we go through the rest of the code. Set the array size to 3 and assign the. You know what? One thing I miss about Gemini is it would tell you what's actually going on, both like while it's giving you the instructions, also in the form of comments. So that side of things I kind of miss. And the inspector set the array size to 3. Okay, so let me just save this. All right, all compiled. So let's click on this. Our script. Health icons array size should be 3. And element 0, this guy, this guy. Element 2 is health icon 3. You know, kind of want to rename these to like 0, 1, and 2. But anyway, let's leave it as is. All right, so add a game manager pass through. Add this to game manager. Let's open it up. Update health UI. So just update health UI, update health. Didn't we have the same named method in anyway, yeah, it's just calling the UI manager's method, so I guess that makes sense. Cool. So if UI manager is not null, call the UI manager's update health UI method. All right, and then create a player health script. And that's where all the logic goes, and it's not a small script. Anyway. Cool, so empty script here. Where's our create empty C# script? Name this, come on, player health.cs. What is going on, bro? Alright, let me just rename this. Open it up. Duh, are you kidding me? Should be player health.cs. Or not .cs, you don't need to. So write .cs in the name of the class when you declare it in code. Anyway, copy and paste. And do I want to quickly go through it? Max health 3, invulnerability duration is 1, so for about a second I think you're going to be unable to move. That's where that comes in. Flash interval, hurt sound, death sound. Current health is invulnerable, is dead. Our booleans, our sprite renderer, current health, player health dot current health. That's just a getter. So we're just declaring a getter method and pointing it to our. That's very cool. Good to know about how things work in C#. Awake method is where we get our sprite renderer and our max health or current health. Start method, update health UI gets called, take damage. Alright, play some audio there if you are taking some damage. So you know what? Two things I should specify here is please note that I am only roughly 1 month into Unity and C# development, so just make sure to keep that in mind. I am no seasoned game dev by any stretch of the imagination. Also, I would appreciate some comments on your codes to understand what's exactly going on. And, alright, looking at the rest of it, if current health is equals 0, then we die. Play some audio again. Core routine and vulnerability routine is this routine here. Start core routine. Kill method is invulnerable as true. Elapsed time. Okay, so while we are not reaching however long we want our player to be invulnerable. Invulnerable. Okay, I think what this actually means is you're not going to get hurt if you are within this time. Anyway, we're going to figure it out because ChatGPT doesn't like adding comments to your code. So it's very annoying to just have to try to piece it all together. Die method is dead, true is invulnerable, false. Stop music, death sound, play. Yeah, and trigger game over. So, okay, cool. Update health. All right, makes sense to me. Attach this component to player.prefab and configure. So let me save all this. All right, let's go to prefabs, player, and let me add player health, I guess. Player health. All right, so added there. Attach this to prefab and configure max health 3 and vulnerability duration is 1. Flash interval 0.1. And assign the existing death sound. 3, 1, 0.1. So all set. Set in the script in general. So all right, assets. So let's set the death sound. All right, so death sound goes there. Game over. And what else? We need to find like a hurt sound, I guess. Assign the existing hurt sound can remain empty temporarily. I kind of want to find one. All right, so found one that I like. It's this one here. I downloaded the first one, and it's this one. Perfect. So let me add that in the hurt sound in our script. Okay, and moving on. Flashing coroutine uses scale time, so pausing with time.timescale equals 0 also pauses the invulnerability countdown. It continues after resume. Refactor hazard.ts. Okay, so I'm assuming that's because of the sound there, maybe. Because both spikes and the kill zone currently use the hazard script, give a configurable damage behavior. Okay, that makes sense. So nothing to do with the sound. Let's see. Uh, int damage, do we have that? We only have death sound there, but seems like, okay, it did get rid of the death sound. And all right, so get rid of the death sound. And on trigger, enter to D. Compare tag as player. It's a bunch of audio logic here. All right, so I'll just delete everything there and just copy and paste. Come on, what is going on? Control. This is super annoying. Okay. So what's going on? You're forget the prefabs. Damage is 1. Okay, okay. So once you save it, all your prefabs with the hazard script are gonna have their own damage. So let me compile for a second. Okay, and let's go to our prefabs, and we're gonna do spike trap and kill zone. Damage 1 for the spike trap. Hazard script damage is 1, and kill zone damage should be instant kill. So we got this boolean now. So it's checked. All right. And audio is removed from hazard because the player now essentially decides whether to play a hurt sound or a death sound. I like that way of doing things. Update the enemy contact damage. So add this to patrol enemy. Copy. Open our patrol enemy. What is this? Private int contact damage. So set it to 1. Plays the slide or bottom collision logic that stops music. Plays the death sound and calls trigger game over. Trigger game over. So this guy right there. Bottom collision that stops music, plays death sounds, and calls trigger game over. So we're gonna replace that with this. So horrible indentation going on here. Anyway, so here is where we're gonna replace everything. Is level complete. I think we can keep this line. What is going on here though? Hit from above, stomp successful. Otherwise, so this is when stomp is unsuccessful. Okay, so I don't know if I should keep the is level gold, is level complete logic there. Probably not, but I mean that doesn't matter anymore because if the level is complete, you can no longer move, so we don't need that there anyway. Okay, let me just see what's going on. Return. Okay, so this line, it still wants to keep, I guess, but do we really need this? Or like somehow, hmm, I don't believe we need this line anymore. Um, I'll also add that to the next prompt I have, so let me just resize it a little bit. Also regarding this line on control enemy, do we really need this anymore since if is level complete is true, time freezes anyway, so you can never really run into a patrol enemy. Once the level is complete. This was there because in the past the game didn't used to freeze once you hit the level goal. Anyway, so for now I will not add it, and I will just add from here to here. So get rid of everything here. Trigger game manager. Okay, yeah, we don't need any of that. And all goes there. Or you can then remove the enemy's old death sound field because player death now belongs to player health. Okay, and then we go to our tests. So now we can send our prompts. Finally, let our game compile. All right, so let's look at the response first. Explain unities. So going forward, it'll explain unities and inspector steps explicitly. Avoid assuming familiarity. Add useful comments to code. Explain why each new method or field exists. Keep simple expressions on one line or readable. Keep this check. Okay, why? Level goal version. Global time does not freeze. It disables players. Physics. Interesting. Enemies and other objects can continue running even if your newer version sets the timescale that does not cancel collision callbacks. Okay, fine, I'll keep it. So that should go to the top. Let me just scroll up a little bit and copy this section. Yeah, I think we can do it a little bit more cleanly just by adding it here like this. Compile, and then we do the tests. So let's just quickly review the tests. Every level begins with 3 icons. The spike removes 1 icon. Player flashes and cannot immediately take another hit. Okay, so that's what it was. Another hit works after approximately 1 second. Third hit opens the game over once. Enemy side contact causes damage. Stomping enemy still kills the enemy without hurting the player. Falling into the kill zone causes immediate death. Pausing during invulnerability freezes the flashing timer. Pausing, okay. We'll have to test that out because I'm not entirely sure what that means. Maybe we'll have some sort of a timer in the game now. Restart and retry, restore 3 health while preserving the correct level start score. Completing a level starts the next level with full health. Okay. Cool. Sounds good to me. Let's check it out. Okay, so level 1 and hit play. Okay, let's try colliding with the enemy. Ooh. Oh, why did the enemy jump? It's pretty fun. Oh man, that's funny. Bike. Okay, and then pause while you hit it. Oh, yeah, so yeah. That flashing thing also paused and resumed once you. Alright, finally instant death when you die. Alright, looks good. Everything checked out pretty much. Restart and retry restores 3 health while preserving the correct level start. And yeah, I think everything passed. So we should be good, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for tuning in.